It's December 26th, the day after Christmas. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. Today I'm going to start working on the FC again today, and I feel like I got a little bit out of sequence. I started doing outside work, you know, as far as the outside patch panels. And I want to take a step back and get back into the interior. I want to finish the passenger side floorboards, get that complete and get that whole. I actually want to get it so when I store this outside, which I am going to pull this out because I want to be able to keep either my Kubota in here before there's any snowstorms, or be able to keep my other Jeep in here, my daily driver, and just pull this in when I work on it. Had a little mishap this morning. I started to do work on the removal of the floorboard, the rusty floorboard over there, and part of the interior that you can see right up there had some fibrous, almost like paper-like material that was under that coating that actually started on fire. So I have the garage door open now. It wasn't a major fire. I was able to put it out pretty quickly. But it does give you a good example why you should have a fire extinguisher handy. So now I'm gonna get underway, get a model of, or a template of this area. I decided what I'm gonna do is remove all the rust, the rotted rust, I should say, rotted floorboards, remove all that. And I'm gonna actually encapsulate this whole area. I'm gonna start right through here, go right to the edge here, and right to this seam here, get this all covered up. So yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna cut this stuff out here. I'm gonna sand it down, get it right down to bare metal, prime it, and get my template made, and cut the floorboard and get that secured down. So that's the goal for today. The other thing I did first thing this morning, when I ran it the last time, the heater core ports, or the two ports that lead to the heater core, the rubber was so brittle that it burst a leak on both of them. So what I have now is them just capped off, because I don't need the heat at this point. I'll keep that as a separate job all in itself. Now filled up with coolant, and I can start it back up and not worry about it overheating. All right, so I'm gonna get underway. All right guys, so I get that all set. I got the template made. I got the rust cleared off the existing floorboard that I'm gonna leave. So what I'll do is pull that out of there and prime that area, let that dry, and get the floorboard cut out. So I have that floorboard done. It's sealed underneath it. It's actually painted on both sides, or primed. That isn't the color I'm gonna use, but I just had some black primer here at the garage, so I figured I would just get at least a covering on it, just so it won't start rusting again. So I was thinking, losing a lot of snow in the area. So I walked by the bed of the truck, which we had stored in the backyard under a top, and I was looking at it and thinking, everything else is going so well with the repair of this truck. While there's no snow out there, I figured it would be a good time to grab the bed and just temporarily put it on the back of the truck. And what that does is it makes it so I can bring the bed in and out of the garage with the FC, and if I choose to work on it, I'll have it available. It won't be covered under a pile of snow in the backyard. So Shane is home from school this week, and I asked him if he would give me a hand loading it up, and he did. We took it for a ride out in the back and uncovered it and threw it on the back. We just have like 2 bolts holding it on. It looks like with the bed, it's really short. It's a short bed in the back. It's not permanently set on there at all. That's why it looks kind of crooked. It looks kind of off-centered a little bit too. But what I'm going to do is kind of, as we go, while I have the sheet metal available, and it's a good time to start doing some body work on this also. You can see one side is actually not, I mean, it's all rough, but one side, this part is pretty solid. But on this side, there's a big patch panel that they just riveted on. I'm going to remove that and repair that metal that's under there. The bed is pretty solid, but there's a corner that's actually completely rotted out, but I can repair that metal. We're thinking of putting like a wood bed, you know, the wood, polyurethane wood on the base of it, but I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes. This side, you know, definitely has some rust holes. It's not that great, but the structure of it isn't that bad, even though it looks rusty. That's an area right there is where you mount the spare tire, and it goes up there. Pretty much what we're going to do now, I got that snowblower gas tank back on there. I have to get that back on the snowblower because I think we have some snow coming up pretty soon. But so Shane helped me out a lot today. He took out the oil bath air filter that was very tough to get out. It was kind of tucked away in the engine compartment, but he got that all apart and cleaned it up. That had like a 1/4-inch layer of sludge all over it. We're still trying to clean out the inside. It's a little oily and messy in there, which it's supposed to be, but it seemed like it had a lot of debris in there. It actually had a lot of water inside of it also. I think that was due to the rear windshield not being in place. I think the water just leaked down in through it. It was tucked away in that corner right there. One good thing I found out, I lubed up all the controls, not that there's many controls, but the key and the light switch, and I think that's the windshield wiper. That still hasn't freed up yet, but I freed this up because initially when I'd pull it out, it only came out like that far, but after lubing it up, I could pull it out that little bit more, which revealed the lights. The lights actually work now, which I didn't think they worked before. So that's good. That's one less thing I have to do now, which is not actually bad to do. I like doing the electrical work, which this definitely needs some help. But the horn still don't work, and the directionals don't either. But I'll troubleshoot that later. Yeah, so at this point now, I can actually start ordering all the brake parts and the springs and shackles and shocks for the rear end. I'm gonna actually reconstruct the whole braking system, right from the master cylinder all the way back to the wheel cylinders, brake lines, brake pads, hubs, everything that this is gonna need, because that's probably one of the most important things to me besides it running. Now that I have my Christmas bonus, I can actually start buying those things and get that underway. But in the meantime, I'm sure it's going to take a little while for those to come in. We're going to order them from, I believe, Kaiser Willys or eBay. I have a couple options. I'm not sure yet which one I'm going to go with. So in the meantime, while I'm waiting for those to come in, I have plenty of sheet metal work to do. But I like doing the sheet metal work, especially on something like this. It's instant gratification. When you get a part done, it really feels like you got something done. All right, guys, see you. When I post this video will be Sunday. And if I don't, this will probably be the last video that I post before the new year. I hope everybody has a great and safe new year. And I'll see you on the next one, probably next week. Have a great week.